even if your SP is married, you can 100% manifest them overnight. Even if your SP blocked you on all platforms, that is no excuse for you to be crying and telling your manifestation coach that my case is the special one. My case is the exception. Guys, you are the only reason why you don't have your SP. Do you know that? It's not because you have a certain amount of money that you lack. It's not because you look a certain way. It's because of who you are being. Reality can't give you something that you don't have already. And you're probably thinking, okay, so how the hell can I have my SP if I don't have them right now? Well, that's your problem right there. You can't tell yourself that you don't have your SP. You can't tell yourself that your SP is married. You simply have to tell yourself that your SP is yours. And no matter what the 3D shows you, you have to stay in that story. Now, I'm not saying that if a single tear drops out of your eye, you ruin your manifestation. I'm not saying that if you have a bad day where you're just spiraling out of control, that's it, it's done, it's never going to happen. But it's about getting back on the horse and reminding yourself of the truth. Because you see, guys, there's different ways to get your specific person. There's looks maxing, there's following a certain pill, there's getting a certain amount of money, trying to up your status. There's manipulation. And then there's the only way that doesn't really require much external change, but the only one that requires 100% internal change. And that, my friends, is the one that we're talking about right here. And you see, if you really think about it, look at all the people who have to get hammers and break their jaw, and all the people who have to work their ass off because they think that a woman of that caliber would not date a guy unless he has at least 6 figures. And what about all these women who think that they need to get a bigger booty just because even though they look great, slim as it is, they think that, oh, well, this guy only dates big booty bitches. And all the work that they have to put in the gym. What if I told you you don't have to do any of that shit, but you just have to be? Remember, no one's forcing you to believe this idea that you have to look a certain way to have a certain salary to get that person. It's only you telling yourself that. Yeah, it definitely seems like that's the case, but why? Not because that's actually true, that was invented by the fucking Apostle Paul. No, it's actually only because that is a fucking 10 commandments in your reality that you are following. And the moment that you say, you know what, fuck that shit, and you break those 10 commandments and you make your own, which is, all I command is whatever I say is to become true. And then boom, that's what must be. You are the only one making thou shalt not have less than 6 figures a sin. You are the only one who is making thou shalt not have a booty that looks like a flat ironing board, because if thou haveth, you will not getteth such maneth of such calibereth. Fuck all that shit, guys. Do you not realize that when you focus internally, all those things happen either ways? And again, I'm not saying that you have to looks max, but you'd be surprised how people start complimenting you on your looks when you just start focusing on your internal. When you start telling yourself that you are the sexiest person everywhere you go, that everywhere you go, they lay the red carpet for you, that people have shrines of you on their nightstand that they worship and pray to in the midday. People read your Bible and sing psalms, praise and worship to your name. Right? When you exaggerate your affirmations, like the affirmations that I send daily to my customers, I have a lot of them. For some strange reason, my self-pedestalizations, which are basically affirmations on steroids, are the ones that have been getting overnight results for my clients. Why? Because it's not an affirmation. It's not a magical spell. It's that you are exaggerating your greatness, just like the way you're exaggerating your loneliness and your I suckness whenever you get a red light in traffic. Whenever you drop your coffee on the ground, it's, oh, fuck, I'm a loser. I suck. I should die. Okay, but enough of the pep talk. I'm going to give you some methods. So every single time that you notice in your 3D that your specific person does not want you, whatever that might look like, whether they're ignoring you, whether they have you blocked, whether you keep noticing that they are still together with that person, I want you to just simply say either two things, or you can do both. At the very least, I need you to not admit what you're seeing right now. If it's something that contradicts your end of being together with a specific person, you cannot admit that that's what's happening. And you can look, and if you feel a feeling of, oh shit, that is not you feeling it, that's your body. But remember, you're not the mind or the body. Your body's separate from you. You're just an internal being living in that body, observing. Remember, you are the observer. But if you go on and continue to intentionally, after knowing the truth, like the scriptures say, after you've known the truth and you go on intentionally sinning, there is no hope for you. So it's one thing to do this and still stay grounded, but it's another thing to just continue to say, oh, I'm never going to get my SP just because I saw them post a status together with their third party on Instagram. All you got to do is say, nope, we are married, case closed, and then move on to what you were doing. But a lot of the times, I would say 80% of the times, that's not going to be enough for you. You need to feel something more tangible. Okay? So that is why I say do a self-pedestalization, which is the same thing as what I just told you. It's an affirmation. But it is so crazy that it fucking wake something up in the subconscious. So if you are seeing something so just dreadful, like your SP is with somebody else, then you can just tell yourself, no, actually my SP has a life-size poster of me on their wall that they pray and bow down to every single night. My SP is married to me. They worship me. They're my little puppy. They fucking worship the toilet that I shit in. Okay? If you're a man, they fucking drink my cum in their Lucky Charms. Okay? If you're a woman, he feeds me Starbucks and a Golden Flax and Chick-fil-A on a silver platter. Okay? That is probably just light years far from what you are typically accustomed to saying in moments like that. And that's the point. I've always said it's like the state spectrum, right? Like my state spectrum video, where if it's like a stamina bar type of spectrum. Far to the right is depression, loneliness, you suck. And far to the left right here, well, it would be your right. Far to this end of the spectrum is your God state. You have everything you want. You're financially free, right? If you say, fuck, they're with the third party, I'm a loser, that keeps you to the part of the depressed side of the spectrum, right? If you just say, we're married, that's definitely not going to keep you on the depressed side, but that's not going to move it any further than maybe the middle. But if you say something so fucking crazy, like they drink my cum in their Lucky Charms, there's no way it can be close to the depression side of the spectrum. It has no other choice but to move itself all the way to the end, because it's not natural for you to say something like that. And it's definitely not depressing, so it has no other choice but to bring it all the way closer to your end state right there. And that's why I've noticed that my self-pedestalizations work for so many people. So you can do that. And then on top of that, any time that you see something in the 3D, you have to tell yourself that it is just a timeline, the old timeline, or a separate parallel reality. You allow it to exist because you are in the reality where you are with your SP. Okay? And that's really all you got to do. And from there on out, you just stick to that story. And that's it. Now, there's fucking imaginal acts that you can do. Watch my top 5 LOA techniques that manifest overnight. You know, there's a lot of different imaginal acts that you can do, but they're not required. As a matter of fact, not even affirmations are required. All that is required is you being aware of your truth. And the truth is whatever you say it is. Okay? Because it's nonsense, guys. You don't have to fucking believe what the 3D shows you, because it is just an old script. The 3D was something that you manifested from the past, that you thought of from the past. Even if you're in front of a fucking tree, okay, you probably thought of a tree fucking 6 months ago, but you don't think about that because who the fuck is trying to manifest a tree? Right? That's exactly how it is with your negative circumstances, because have you ever met a person who never thinks negatively? Right? I mean, fuck, people can't even take compliments nowadays because they're like, no, but I mean, I know you say I'm beautiful, but I mean, I got this zit over here, and then, you know, I think my eye congruency is not where I want it to be. It's like, get the fuck out of here. Okay? Like, who is giving you these fucking ideas? And sure, I get it. Sometimes it's not even that we're trying to get approval from somebody else, but the point is, okay, great. If you really are not content with your eye congruency, but you really have a strong desire to be with somebody, you can still say, well, even though my eye congruency is off, the people love me so much that they look over my flaws. You can just say that. I agree that you don't necessarily have to make everything perfect, but at the end of the day, your end goal is undefeated. You still get what you want no matter what the fuck the circumstances are. No matter if they're married, no matter if they have a third party, no matter if they have you blocked on all platforms, guys. It's not a fucking excuse. Okay? But if you really want to go in depth with this and you have a specific situation, you need specific help, guys, what the hell are you waiting for? The links are in the description. And join the membership channel. The perks are in the community posts. I love you guys. I'll see you soon.